minutes or less.
Rain, rain, go away. Come again some other day.
Amazed at how easy that will.
Gotta turn the radio off. Copyright protection. Here I am inside of my eBay she shed. Now, as you might be able to tell, this is not eBay stuff. I actually quit selling on eBay when the coronavirus started. Found somebody who wanted to buy a bunch of my stuff. Sold it all to her. Got rid of it. It was mostly the smalls that I hadn't sold in a long time. I got rid of, well, what I call the good stuff. And I have all this back in my office in the house, which is not a very big room. And you know, thinking about it, the wife has started back to school. Room's just running low. What I thought I would do, I'm going to turn this into my man cave. Kind of a little shop for me to do this kind of stuff that I do and get it all out of my office. What I'm going to do in the office, I'm going to actually have room to set up my record player, my stereo for my record player, which is set up. Can't get to it, but it's there. But I'm going to do that. I'll have my desk in there, and I will in turn have room to put a couch or love seat. I don't know if y'all can hear that rain. I sure can. But, so I'm going to have that office, and I'm going to, of course, be my desk and stuff. And then put the love seat in there for me to just hang out and listen to music, or if the wife wants to go in there and study, get away from the TV room, or if Jackson wants to go in there and just hang out, they can. So therefore, this is going to be my man cave area. Reloading stuff, small projects, things like that. I've got these presses mounted, and I'll actually do a video on it when I get it done. I've got holes drilled underneath these. When you press the primer, it will shoot out the bottom of this desk. I'll put a catch can underneath there to catch it. But the more I load with them, the more they collect up in these little boxes. Are actually the primer trays. I've tried to keep this stuff organized as I went, and so far it's been pretty good. But like these powder bushings, you know, the Pacifica, or the Pacific DL-155, let's see if I can find a powder bushing here. Uses a powder bushing kind of like this. About $7 a pop if you buy them. These are the MEC bushings, $5.95, and I can get these locally. So I bought this $7 adapter, which will convert these bushings into the Hornaday Pacific style. Pretty slick if you ask me. But I was messing around YouTube, and this gentleman actually had a box. I got these in just a clear box just now. So I want to get every one of these bushings. But anyways, he had them in a box that was made to store spools of thread. It's got a little part sticking up on it. You just rest the bushing over top of it. I like that. I had all thought about drilling making a board and drilling a bunch of holes in it and having them drop down in there. But I think I like the box idea better for the bushings. I'm keeping some stuff in here like this stuff for my metal melting, my graphite molds and such. I haven't done much of that in the last month or 3, just due to the fact that can't get a respirator. I'm sure that mine's still good and I'm keeping it for in case I want to use it. But truthfully, they should be changed out every so often. And I just can't find one to replace with it. But I will. Eventually. Maybe. But those are the only 2 presses I've got. They're both the DL-155. I'd actually like to find a third one just to be able to do 410, 20, and 12 and not have to mess with all the dies. They are kind of a booger to replace. And I'm not 100% sure that the 20 gauge is even set up correctly. Yeah, it seems to be working. All the stuff, I didn't have a crimper for 20 gauge. I think I had 8s but no 6s. Luckily the Hornaday stuff still fits these presses, at least some of it does. It was funny, I actually emailed Hornaday about it and asked what was available for these. The guy said pretty much nothing. So I don't know what I'm going to do as far as getting parts and stuff for them. I mean, they work, but stuff will wear out. I think these are from the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. The tubes you can still get, or at least Dad's got a new set of them. Obviously the crimp starters you can still get. The fingers inside of the shell holders you can still get. As far as the dies, I'm not for sure. I'd like to find somebody that's messed with these and know what other dies from what other equipment will fit. Fit these. And I've still got some tweaking and stuff to do with them. I've reloaded a couple hundred shells with 12 gauge. Haven't loaded anything with 20 gauge yet. Yeah, that'll work good. But I've got my presses right there. Over here I'm going to have everything else, all the supplies and stuff on these shelves. I've been trying at least for the last year or 2 to get stuff halfway organized. Got a bunch of these pencil boxes from Walmart today, 50 cents a piece. I may go back and get another 20 of them, just because I like to have everything the same, the same style, or the same look, I guess. I hate it when you buy 2 or 3 tins or boxes or clear things like that, and then you go to get more 6 months later and they discontinued them and moved on to another cheap supplier. That's usually, I think, why they change on them. It's kind of annoying. But this is, I think this is 10 by 14, 10 by 16. I actually still got the paperwork on it. Yeah, 10 by 16. And you got these double doors right here, which obviously go out the front. There's no windows, no nothing. I'm actually going to put a window in that back corner and put a small AC unit in here. I'd like to insulate it and keep all my powders and primers and everything out here. As of right now, I'm still keeping those in the house, just for temperature purposes. But that's just a little update on my she shed. I'll store anything I decide to sell on eBay. I'll store it somewhere, and then, like I say, gonna just hang out in here and do my little projects that I've been doing in my office out here and roll with it and see what happens. You never know. Maybe it'll change. Maybe it won't. With me, it's hard to say. A little bit of everything all the time. Well, you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend, and we'll catch you next time.